your ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas, and eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. Use correct grammar. The title of her speech is Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. And her answer to my Super Bowl question is, hands down, the halftime show with Lady Gaga. Loved it. Please welcome Suzanne.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome guests. Can you please raise your hand if you've ever told a lie? Got a lot of, you didn't raise your hand, Simon. Got a lot of,
I'm not telling you that.
a lot of honest liars here. So, there are different people lie for different reasons. Some people lie, tell little white lies. Some people tell occasional lies. Some people are just incessant liars. And some people are pathological liars. They just can't help themselves. And I learned a valuable lesson about lying when I was in my 20s. I was working for a commodities trading firm in Stanford, working on the precious metals desk. And it was an extremely stressful environment. There was a lot of screaming, there was a lot of swearing, long hours, and very volatile environment. The markets would move up and down, and emotions would fly. And the CEO of the company, who was always on the trading floor, was notorious for losing his temper. His veins used to bulge out of his neck, and he was known for throwing things at traders, including his shoes at times. And so one day, three of our traders from the NYMEX came in, and they spent the day in the Stanford office. And we got along really well. We had a lot of fun while they were there, and they came up with this brilliant idea. At the end of the day, they said, Sue, why don't you take a day off, come into the city, we'll show you around the NYMEX, we'll take you to lunch, and then we'll hang out for the afternoon. And I thought, wow, I didn't need a lot of arm twisting to take a day off. It was rare that I was ever taking personal days, and it was such a stressful environment, as I said, so I hopped on that bandwagon. And I thought, the only problem is, how am I going to explain this to my boss? He wasn't really into giving personal days off. And how was I going to explain this to my husband? I was married at the time. My son was about 2-3 years old. My husband was a little bit on the jealous side, so I thought, he's never going to support me going into the city and hanging out with these three hot guys for the day. So I said, oh, I know what I'll do. I know how I'll explain it. I won't explain it. I won't tell him. So fast forward a couple of weeks later, this was the day that I was going to go in the city and hang out with my friends. And my husband would leave for work before me. He left for work, and I got myself together and got my son ready. I called into work, and I told everyone at work that I wasn't coming in that day. And dropped my son off at daycare, and I hopped on a train in Westport bound for Grand Central Station. So as I'm on the train, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm bonzer. I'm so happy that I'm going to have this day off, and I'm sitting there by myself. There was no one sitting next to me. And I see this gentleman kind of walking toward me, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh, please, don't sit next to me. Just leave me alone. Let me sit here by myself. Don't sit next to me. Sure enough, the guy comes and sits next to me. He was sitting so close, it almost felt like he was sitting on my lap. So the train takes off, and a couple of minutes later, this guy sitting next to me catapults out of his seat like a ninja, and he's standing in the aisle right next to me, and he's belting out opera. And I'm like, what is going on here? So 2 seconds later, there was another gentleman sitting in a row a couple of seats up, and he catapults out of his seat like another ninja, and he's holding the mother of all cameras in his hand. So this guy is standing right next to me. So the photographer starts snapping away. He's taking his pictures like crazy. And I'm saying, what the heck is going on? It seemed like he was singing forever. So the guy sits back down, go into the city. I had a great day with my friends, get back home, pick up my son. My son and my husband and I went out to dinner that night, and I thought, everything is cool. So I'm good, no problems here. So the next morning, my husband left for work. It was a Saturday morning. He leaves for work, and I'm doing my Saturday chores, and I'm vacuuming the bedroom, and all of a sudden the phone rings. So I go to answer the phone, and I hear on the other line, Oh, hey, Susie Q. It was my mother-in-law. Susie Q. Oh, I see you're a celebrity. Your picture, it's on the front page of the Stanford Advocate. My picture from the day before ended up on the front page of the Stanford Advocate. Tens of thousands of copies of the Stanford Advocate, my face plastered all over the front of it. So I thought, oh my gosh, I am so busted. What am I going to do now? How am I going to get out of this? My little white lie snowballed into an avalanche, came back and bit me in the caboose. So my husband comes home from work, and I figured, you know, the only thing I could do is I just have to fess up. So he came home, and I sat down. I was extra nice to him. And I told him about my day off and what I did and explained the whole situation to him. And you know, he was looking at me, you know, I'll never forget the look on his face. He was a little surprised, like, oh, wow, really? You did all that? And then I told him, and by the way, just in case you happen to see a copy of The Advocate, my picture's on the cover of it today. So he looked at me like he just witnessed a double homicide. He was really shocked. And so then, fast forward a couple of days later, I go into the office, and the traders were on me like white on rice. They had a field day. They had my picture cut out of the paper. One of them had it plastered on my computer. They were teasing me relentlessly, and they said, you know, how was your day off, and how are you feeling? And oh, gee, you must have been feeling a lot better immediately after you called. And one guy said he felt a little betrayed because I didn't invite him to go. And so a couple of months later, that lie that I told was like the gift that kept on giving, because my picture ended up in Connecticut Magazine. And I walked into work, and one of the traders was holding it up and said, oh, look, Sue, you're a celebrity. Your picture, you have top billing next to Meryl Streep in Connecticut Magazine. And it was just like a nightmare. And the picture of me, I was like this, looking down, because I knew when the photographer was taking pictures, nothing good could come of it. So I was trying to hide my face. And then, of course, it looked even more suspicious. So the moral of the story is, well, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Bruce Lee. If you don't want to slip up tomorrow, tell the truth today.